Hi, I'm Maggie from maggiescrochet.com, and I am going to show you how to cover glass jars in doilies. And these doilies I picked up at different flea markets. And I think that this is a wonderful use for something vintage. This vase here I bought at Goodwill for $1, and then this is just a wide mouth mason jar. So these are readily available at your stores, like I think Target would have them and Walmart's would have them. So anyway, I'm having a photo shoot in my new office next weekend. So I wanted a beautiful vase to be in my office. So I am going to cover this vase with this doily right here, and then I have a lot of purple flowers growing out in my garden, and I'm going to put all purple flowers in here. So I will show you in this video how to put this one on here, but you could just as easily imagine a doily like this, which is a lot bigger here on this. And what I would do for this one is just to run a thread, like a sport weight cotton yarn, through here and tuck the excess down here. You just want to make sure that you fill it up with water only to maybe about halfway or something, so it doesn't get on the doily. And you can always take these doilies off and wash them and then re-put them on or use them for some other purpose. But if you were to put this one on here, you could do a drawstring around here and then gather it in the back. And this is kind of like a one-sided project. You probably wouldn't want the back showing. Or you could get a little fancier with this and let this drape on the outside and only have a little bit of it. Actually, you might not even see these flowers on the wrong side, and then just kind of tack it to the back loosely, and then just have more of a flowing kind of vase like that. I think that would be gorgeous too. Especially if you have coordinating flowers, and you could always use like artificial flowers for this too. So that would be that one. This one, you want to make sure you have the right side facing. So this one too, you could imagine the same thing, where you could have part of it draping, and then just as long as you put a drawstring in here. And you'll see more of what I'm talking about when I put this doily on here. So this one is a little bit different challenge because it's square. So I have decided to let the top loops be free, and I'm going to run my drawstring to go around here. I'm going to run it through the tops of the first edging row here. So I have some Lisbeth crochet cotton yarn or thread, size 3, and I'm gonna thread my needle like this. I'm gonna fold it over the eye, pinch it real tight, and push the pinched edge through the eye of the needle and pull that out. And I need enough thread to go completely around here and then down here, and I don't know if I'm going to run a strand around the bottom, but just in case I want plenty of thread. So I've got this double, and I'm only going to use it as single, but it's doubled here. So probably I can just leave it attached. I'm going to leave it attached to the ball. I'm not going to worry about that right now. So what I'm going to do here is find the corner loops, which it looks like I have maybe 2 corner loops. So I'm going to go ahead and get those on my needle right here. No, wait a minute. I don't want that one. I want this row right here. So I've already kind of like, you just need to place it on your jar and decide how you want it to look. So as long as I get that needle, I'm going from the front to the back on each loop. As long as you get that needle through all the loops like this. This is going to create a drawstring. I'm going to do another video on these doilies on rings that I've been doing. They're so pretty. And when you see my whole office together. Oh, so beautiful. Okay, so now I've reached the corner of that one. So I'm gonna pull that through so it's even there because I've gone through the same row of loops right there. And I'm gonna pull the thread all the way through until it's single. Okay, now I'm gonna wrap this around my jar, and I'm gonna leave the loops that I didn't go through, I'm just gonna leave them sticking out. Okay, then I come to the back. And around the back, I might have this sitting out on my lap at this point, but for this video, I'm gonna try to do it standing up here. Okay, so what I need back here is a knot, and I need to make sure I have enough here before I make that knot. So I'm gonna pull, I want a little bit more thread, so I'm gonna pull, I think I'll have enough. I think I'll have plenty. Okay, so I need to tie a knot back here, and I'm gonna go through that. And if you don't have anybody to hold that knot for you to make the second loop on it, you can do this, like pull this around a couple of times. Okay, so there, and then it holds a little tighter there. So I just wrapped it around several times. So then it usually holds better like that. And then I'm gonna tie a knot here. All right, and I'm not worried about this gathering here until this point. So now I'm gonna go around to the front here like this. I'm gonna pull all the gathers to the back and just kind of even it out. Make sure those unused loops are just pulled to the top. And I just want them just free hanging like that. They got curled in there somehow. Okay, so now, see, my plan is that this bottom here is gonna hit the floor, and these loops are just gonna hang out at the bottom. It's gonna look so cute. Okay, now you come to the back. It's like a little corset here in the back. And right now I can cut, this is the strand that's going to my ball of Lisbeth yarn that I'm using. So I'm gonna cut that about 6 inches out just to get that out of my way. Okay. Now, if I can get a hold of my needle. Okay, so now what I need to do here is just to pull this together. And it doesn't have to be perfect back here because this is the part that's not going to be seen. You might be able to do one where you can, you know, where it looks good all the way around, but this, I don't imagine that this is going to look good all the way down. So I'm gonna, once again, I'm gonna skip the last round of white loops, and I'm gonna go into the second round because it'll be tighter there. So these other extra loops will just hang out. So I went from this side over to this side. Now I'm gonna go back and forth. So I'm gonna go over to this side, then I'm gonna pull the corresponding loop over there. And then I don't want my little loops to get stuck, so I'm gonna let them just hang out like that. It's just gonna look a little artsy, I think. Okay, so then I love going to the resale shops, antique stores, and I love getting all this stuff. And I've got all kinds of doilies, and just lately I've been thinking of all these great things to do with them. Because I have a new office that I'm moving into, and it's got all white walls. So I imagine lace everywhere. So I started coming up with these ideas on decorating with my vintage lace that I have. Now this doily had like kind of like an area that was pulled out you might want to address that and just make sure that it doesn't pull out anymore. And this actually right here is the old price tag. So I'm gonna get rid of that. So it's okay here, but I think it still had an area. So you might want to, you know, secure any unravels or something. Sometimes the vintage doilies have that. So I'm just going to continue going all the way down here to lace up the back. Just go from side to side all the way down like this and like this. And we have all kinds of Lisbeth thread in gorgeous colors. There's well over 100 colors, and eventually we'll carry all of them. And I think she has over 170, I want to say, colors. And we have 100 some on our website at maggiescrochet.com. So you could actually make a doily and then sew it to a vase. For this, originally I thought about just crocheting a vase from a cover from scratch, but then I thought, well, why not just use the old doily and it'd be quicker. Okay, so now I've laced it all the way down right here, and then these are just gonna hang out, these little loops right here. I think it looks kind of cute in the back, but where I'm gonna put this, it's not gonna show in the back, but I still think it's cute. And I like this idea because it doesn't ruin the doily. If you ever want to take this off, you still have this cute little doily on here. And I actually think we're going to create a pattern for this doily right here. I think it's really cute. Okay, so at the end down here, I'm going to do the corners. If I can get my fingers out of the way. Okay. And maybe I'll do this one like this. All right. So, you know, if you have if I were to have a vase that was more narrow, I might decide to leave all the loops hanging out and just sew the purple to the purple. It just depends on what kind of vase that you find and your doily. So you have to be flexible in with this project because they're not always going to be the same. Okay, so what I want to happen here is for this purple to hit the bottom right here. So I can think of two ways to do that. I'm going to stretch it, number one, and if I put a tight enough ring around the bottom, I think it would stay, or I could just go with my thread from here and then come over here and go across, and then it creates like a brace at the bottom. And I'm kind of thinking that might be the way to go. So I stopped right here, and I'm gonna go from where I stopped across to the other side, and I want these loops to be free at the bottom, and I'm just gonna go right here on that purple like that, and just make sure I have that little brace built in there. And I'm just going to go over that a couple of times so it doesn't pull out, just to secure it. And this will just hold the doily down to the bottom. So then nobody's going to see what I have at the bottom, except maybe, wait a minute, I think it'll be all right when it gets filled with water and everything. Maybe I should do that. Well, no, I think it'll be all right. Okay, so then I'm just gonna go across here because I want to across at the bottom. I'm just gonna go over here and get on that side of it, which is the opposite side, but it's pulling. So let me go like right, I want it to be at the halfway point kinda. Let me see if that would do it. Maybe this won't work. This is the first time I've ever done this, so you have to bear with me. I think that will work. And then over to there. It's just whatever keeps it down. I think I'm changing my mind about this. What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna pull this out real quick. can pull those out because I didn't do them real tight. Okay, so I'm gonna put the needle back on here. You can still see my sticker. I got this for $1. Okay, since this width up here, or circumference, or whatever you call it, is wider, I think if I just do a circle around the bottom in this purple, that it'll hold it on there. So I'm just gonna go inside these purple loops. And I don't need to get every single one of them for this to work. At least I don't think I do. And I'm just gonna create a drawstring at the bottom. And I'm just going in like every other one. And I don't want to get my loops caught in this. Okay, go right here, right here. You can go in every one or every other one, whatever you want to do. Okay, now I'm going from one side to the other. All right, now if I pull that tight, it should bring that down, like that. Okay, so now I'm gathering it on the bottom, and I want to gather it enough so it pulls right to that bottom edge like that. And I'm going to secure it over here on this side in that last little cluster stitch there. Okay, don't pull out. No, it was this one I needed to hold on to. All right. Just want to make sure that stays down. I can pull that. Okay, I think I got it there. And my needle has a little rough tip on it, and so it keeps snagging my thread. All right, so right here. Okay, now I'm gonna, these loops are still all free, and then I'm gonna go back over here to where I started with the purple. Right, maybe I don't need to. I think that might be good enough. You can always turn it over and check it. So my plan is for this to be stretched good onto the jar. I think it looks beautiful. And then these I just want to lay on the ground because they'll look like a little doily sitting on the where I set the vase. Oh my gosh, I love it. Look at that thing. That is gorgeous. Oh my gosh, look at that. And then the back just looks like, I have to sew this end in, but the back's gonna look like that. But I think it's pretty in the back too. Oh God, I just love lace and crochet and vintage stuff too. So that's basically how you make it, and I'll just secure this end right here, and it's good to go. And if I ever want to pull it off, there's no damage done to my vase, and I think it's going to be gorgeous. And I think in the photograph for this, I may put the flowers in it and show you. I guess I'm going to do a video of my new office, and you'll see this vase in my new office with the flowers in it. But that is how you cover a jar or a vase in a doily. So you just have to be real flexible with whatever vase you have and whatever doilies that you pick. So thank you very much for watching, and I hope that you visit maggiescrochet.com. Thank you very much.